You lost. You have already. What? You have already. That's mine? Yeah. But
That's for you.
All right, let's go. Is that on still? Now you can go live.
Live. We've been live already for 20 minutes.
Oh. Great. I apologize. Today's daf is daf Lamed Hey. We're starting from the bottom of the Lamed Down on the base. The sugya of tefillin of Rabbeinu Tam and Rashi. Not really, but that's what it comes down. Yes, sir. This is the sugya. Good morning.
Good morning.
Ketzad Sidron. What's the seder of parshas in the tefillin? Both Shalyat and Shorosh have the same seder of parshas. They're in the same order. Says the Gemara, and the Gemara brings down the seder that they're written in the Torah. Kadosh Li is the first parsha, Vayikaviyach is the second parsha, Miyamin. Now, what's interesting here is that the Gemara is trying to give us the easiest way to know how the parshas were written, and in doing so, they made it very complicated to the point that we have a major machlokes today between Rashi and Rabbeinu Tam. So what's the seder? Kadesh Vayikaviyach is on the right side. Shema is on the left side. V'tanya Ipcha. We have a brisa that says that it starts from V'hayim Shemaya and goes backwards. Kaddish is the last one. V'hayim Shemaya is the first one. Omar Abaya Lo Kashya Kan Miminu Shel Koirei Kan Miminu Shel Maniach. And somebody that reads it straight. What's going on here? If you're looking at the tefillin, if I'm wearing tefillin and you're looking at me, so you'll be seeing backwards. Kaddish, Shema. Okay, this way. If you're reading it, I don't know if you can see, but Kaddish, V'heviyacha, Shema, V'him Shemaya. So you go from right to left. If you're facing me, I'm wearing my tefillin. So for me, it's from left to right. This is my left hand. So for me, basically, Abai is saying it's the same. It's how you're looking at it. It's the mirror image, or you're looking at it from the front, or it's the guy wearing it, is he looking at it? That's not a shayla. The shayla that we have over here is the Rabbeinu Tam asks a question. If, like Rashi, that it goes exactly in order of Kadesh, Vayikaviyacha, Shema, V'hayim Shemaya, so then why does the Gemara say, and from the left, it's these two parshas? The Gemara should have just said, you start from the right, Kadesh, and you work your way through. The Gemara should have never stuck in the word, and from the left side, it's Shema V'hayim Shemaya. From the fact that the Gemara sticks in, from the left side, Shema V'hayim Shemaya, he reverses the order. Good morning. He reverses the order of the last two, the left. So there's no machlokes between Rabbeinu Tam and Rashi on the first two parashas. They both say that it starts from Kadesh, and then it goes to V'hayikaviyacha. The question is, does it go Shema V'hayim Shemaya like in the Torah? That's how Rashi says, Shema V'hayim Shemaya. Rabbeinu Tam says it goes the opposite. Now the last words over here, V'koyer Shekoyer Kesidron, seem like Rashi, that when you read it and the order that's brought down in the Torah, and that's how we put on our tefillin. The famous Goin, a lot of people say you should put on both pairs of tefillin because it's a machlokes. The big question everybody always has is, wow, the Olam is starting to come. The big question we have is, why didn't Rabbeinu Tam and Rashi open up a pair of tefillin from 100 years before them and see what's going on? And one of the answers they give is that, good morning. We don't have Eli, but we have the second guy in command. Fine. So the answer is that they found both pairs of tefillin. They opened up pairs of tefillin, they found both.
They were always
The Beis Yosef brings down that they opened up the caver, by the caver of Yechezkel Hanavi, they found a pair of tefillin just like Rashi's. So he wants to bring a raya that it's like Rashi. So I don't know what says, wait a minute, it was buried. The reason why it was buried is because it was like Rashi's. So they say, no. Just because it's like Rashi, if you put in the parshas like Rashi, you don't bury it, you could undo the parshas. If you write the parshas in the wrong order, then you bury it. But if it's put in the tefillin, you don't bury it. That's not a good taina. Fine. Agabar, the famous Vilna Gaon.
Maybe the Shaliad was written that way. Then it's out. Because the Shaliad is 1 o'clock, it's not going to stay there.
So you're saying they found the shalyad? Okay.
But
if
there was more talks about like about that stuck in the sentence.
okay, Agoponim. You have here. It's known. The Vilna Gaon and Meiser Rav writes, if you want to be yoytz all shitas of tefillin, then you would have to wear 64 pairs of tefillin. He says 64 is the number. And as we saw, one very interesting point is that Rabbeinu Tam says that we learned yesterday. Rabbeinu Tam says that everything, including a Sefer Torah, has to be laying down in the Aron Kodesh. A mezuzah has to be laying down. If you put up a mezuzah, we put it up like this. Rashi says to put it like this. Rabbeinu Tam says put it like this. Everything's laying down. So the parshas of Tefillin also would be laying down. So if these words Shema Yisrael are like this, according to Rashi, you put it upwards just like that. According to Rabbeinu Tam, you'd lay it down. So I believe, I didn't ask people that wear Rabbeinu Tam, but I think that people that wear Rabbeinu Tam, they put it upwards like Rashi. So you have a problem. So that's basically what the guy is saying. You would have to, if you want to be Yotzer Rabbeinu Tam, you would have to put the parshas laying down and his writing. Another interesting thing that we had by how do you write a ches? You write a ches. Rabbeinu Tam holds you write a ches with a tent on top, and that's how we write it. Rashi says it's flat on top. There's just one little tag on the side, similar to the ches that we have in our Gemara. So we're doing tefillin of Rashi, standing up with the ches of Rabbeinu Tam. So because you need 64 pairs of tefillin if you want to be yotze all shitas. They do say that one should be makpid. Nachman, you have a pair. I should really wear. After Shir, Nachman is getting out his tefillin, put it on for 1 second, be yotze Rabbeinu Tam one time in your life. Yeah, I know. Fine, so that's the sugya of Rabbeinu Tam. Whoever wants to be mayin more, go ahead. Omar Rav Chanana. What? Wow.
128 pairs.
Let's go.
Omar Rav Chanana, Omar Rav. We're holding on the last line of Lamadal on days. If you hold like Rashi and you put your parshas in like Rabbeinu Tam, psulois is 100% puzzle. Shout out the Rabbanon Deraisa. Omar Abai Elo Amoron Elo Gavyoso LeBrayoso Ubrayoso LeGavyoso. Says Abaya, take a look over here. These are the outside boxes. These are the inner boxes. Abaya says the only time it's puzzle is if you flip an inside box to an outside box. But if you take the right outside box and you flip that parsha, which is Vahaya Shemaya, and you put it instead of Kaddish on the left side, then it's good. Basically, they both have shins on the outside. They both have shins. One is a 3-legged shin, one is a 4-legged shin. They're getting a chin, they're getting ear. They have a nice view. The inside guys, without the view, if you switch them around, you put compartment 2 to compartment 3, no problem according to Abaya. Gavyoso, the inside to the outside, less lambo. Omay Rava, Maishna Gavyoso, it says, doesn't make any sense what you're saying. What's the difference? Maishna Gavyoso, the hach the bayi lemechze avir, the one that needs to see ear, lo kochazia, he doesn't have a view. He has the ocean view, he has the right side view, he has to see the small Eloishna says, Rav, it doesn't make any sense what you're saying. Just because it's the outside is the outside.
It's
Very, very simple. Abaya says it doesn't matter if you take an outside compartment parsha and flip it with another outside compartment parsha. Says Rava, what do you mean it doesn't matter? This outside compartment is on the right side, it sees the right side, and this one sees the left side. It's next to a different type of shin. This is a 3-legged shin, this is a 4-legged. What do you mean it doesn't make a difference? Of course it makes a difference. Just like it makes a difference between putting the outside compartment, flipping it with the inside compartment, so it makes a difference if you put an outside compartment with another outside compartment. There's an order, the Torah is makbid on the order, and we keep with the order. Abai says, that there's but he says the order is only outside and inside. That's how he understood. The Torah is makbid that certain parashas should be on the outside of the tefillin and certain should be on the inside. And don't flip it inside with the outside. So, Rashi explains, and Rashi says, Mamish Mefurish, that this entire thing is one piece of leather. And he says, when you're done with the tefillin, you cut off all the excess leather, and then you're left with this piece right over here. This is a titoira, a bridge. It looks like a plank of a bridge. And then you take this and you fold it over, so you have something like this. And this part right over here is called the titoira. That you close it is halacha Moshe Messina. You fold it over halacha Moshe Messina. Omar Abaya, ma barta the tefillin halacha Moshe Messina. As I pointed out yesterday, you look over here at these tefillin. They're finished tefillin. They don't have a hole. He started making the hole, but if you look over here, there's no hole. After you close it up, that's the process today. They drill a hole with their hand. They drill through and through, so you can get your ritzua through and through. It's a mabarto. Let me see if over here, it's supposed to be able to move. You see, it goes through. Now you just messed up my tefillin for show and tell. But okay, it's good day. Okay, it's supposed to be able to go through and move easily. That part of the tefillin, halacha l'Moshe Messina. V'omar Abaya, shin shel tefillin. There's a shin on the tefillin. See, there's a 3-legged shin, and there's a 4-legged shin. Abaya doesn't mention the 2 types, but he means the 2 types because they're both very different. Tosfos brings down over here that if you flip the shin with 3 legs is on the right side, the shin with 4 legs is on the left side. I saw the Beis Yosef brings down that this is what the luchas were given in with this shin. Rabbi Schoenberg made a diagram. Basically, this is the ear of our shin. Our shin is 3, so this is the ear that composes the outside of our shin. That's what HaKadosh Baruch Hu wears, and that's what the luchas look like. Tosfos says that if you reverse the 3 to the 4, you put the 4 on the right side and the 3 on the left side, it's still kosher. However, if you put 2 3-legged shins on your tefillin, pasul. You need a 3 and a 4. This shin, halacha Moshe Messinai. I said yesterday that the way they make the shin is they first take today. They take one of these guys. They press it in. This is the 4-legged, so they'll press in until they have a shape. And the guy mentioned one other thing, that's why I'm repeating it. He had a tool that was like a pick, and he'd pull, basically, because once he has this embossed, then it's made by a machine. So they outline what they have, then they push it back in with the press, so now it's flat, but they have their outline. Then with that, once they have the outline, then they take one of these guys and a more of a pick, and they start pulling the leather out. And with this guy, they push the leather until they form a shin. That's the handmade way.
So they're pushing
Maybe-
all around. So they're not making a shin. They're making everything but the shin. They're pushing around the shin.
They're pushing until they create.
No, they're pulling it.
They pull
At
it.
the beginning, they're pushing it, but then they put the shin back in, and then they pull out the
Why
shin.
do they need to do that?
Oh, you're
That's part of the
designing the
problem.
kind of
But
shin
they're-
not.
they're still like-
The kind. What do you mean the kind?
Like you do yourself, you do yourself shin there.
The 3 and the 4. But how? No. They actually say. I saw it brought down. I have to look into it. It shouldn't be mamish a shin. It should resemble a shin, but we do a real shin. Fine.
Does the shin go all the way through to the other side of the inside of the
No.
Just on the outside?
You see it on the outside. Says the Gemara Vitzorch she'agia choretz l'mekoy matefer.
How do we understand it from yesterday that they press it
Yeah.
Those sticking out on both sides.
No. This press is an inverted press. This is hollow. It's hollow, and they push it enough so that the leather goes into the press, and then they're able to see this guy. I don't know if everybody does like that. He's able to see where the shape is, how the shape. They don't design it with they don't take a pen and go like this.
It's not
To make it soften, it softens it up, and then they're able to come in later.
And then they skate around the shed.
No, they pull it
Now,
back, they don't straight.
the charetz, we discussed the charetz yesterday, right? This is the charetz. Between the boxes, the charetz, and this is a finished pair of tefillin, the charetz. Says the Gemara, tzorich sheyagia charetz l'makom hatefer. The charetz has to go all the way down to here, from top to bottom. Rav Dimi min Adom are keeping the minkar leitzorich. You don't need to see this line. And as we mentioned yesterday, do not make a fake line. It's not having a line. It's the actual indentation of the box. It has to come from the box, and not like some whatever they're called, people that make tefillin and they paint it black, and then later on they add these nice, perfectly straight lines, even though their bottom might be a little crooked. You can even see on this pair of tefillin, if you look closely, because it's leather, this bias is a lot different in size than the one next to it. It's much narrower, and sometimes they go crooked. But anyways, these are the actual charitzim. Fine. V'amar Abaya, haykilfa the tefillin tzorich l'mibdekei. Here, I have an actual piece of parchment that they write tefillin on. Says Abaya, you need to pick it up, look at it, make sure it doesn't have any holes. Because if it has a hole, the problem is that when you write a letter over the hole, then the letter has a hole in it, and that letter is puzzle. It's not a ksivatam, as the Gemara is going to say. Now, what could happen? What could happen is the sofer will fill the hole up with ink. The ink will dry. You'll never know that there was a hole, but you have a letter with a hole in it. Right now the letter's complete. No, the ink that dried is not part of the letter. Halachically, you have a letter with a hole in it. The dilma isberi usa, maybe the cloth would have a hole in it. Ubeino ksivatama veleka, and you don't have ksivatama, you have a letter with a hole in it. Rav Dimi ben Adamar loy tzarich kumas badiklei. Rav Dimi says no. When I go over, the surfer goes over with his quill. If he bumps into a big pothole, he'll know that there's a hole. Now, if there's a small enough hole that he doesn't realize, a microscopic hole, and the ink fills it up, Rav Dimi holds the ink could fill up a hole. That halachically, that's kosher.
Let it dry and fill it up.
Yeah, but Abai says no. That when it dries up, it's not. It's considered outside ink. It's not part of the letter. Omer Rav Yitzchok, Ritzuos shchoros halacha leMoshe Mesinai. So comes Abaya and says that these ritzuos, I actually have, I don't know if everybody has these, a lot of people have it, these are the better ones, they're black from both sides. So even if it peels off, you don't need to sit there like the Machmirim every davening and right.
Rambam says they go separate.
Okay, it's the sheet of the Rambam.
If it turns over, it's okay.
What?
And you put it on it.
You did? No.
You do it.
No. You could have other chumras
If
also.
it turns over or whatever, just
Right, it should always be black. Now, very interesting. Rabbi Isai, what about this? Does this need to be black? It just says,
Yes, they can't do that.
you say no. Look at Tosfos, Dibra Maskul Ritzu Shcharis. It's the second text from the end. It's the first wide line. Yeh she'oisim batim shel tefillin miklaf lavon. It would look exactly like this. The loibiin and shcharis el ritzuos. Halacha Moshe Sinai is only on the ritzuos. The reason why we make our batim black is because it's nicer. It's nicer. But if you,
It's nicer the opposite.
Maybe it's nicer to be cold.
Right.
It's a lot nicer if you come today with
that's right. So try that. I recommend that you be the first guy to do it. You'll have a lot of. Just don't come to my shul. Meisvei. No, it's a good idea. I'm serious. You want to be different, 100%. I think it's nice. It's different. It's nice, 100%.
Well, you're the Rabbeinu Tam. You're Rabbeinu Tam. You should just make it white. This way.
Right. Exactly. That's a good idea. From now on, all Rabbeinu Tamers should be white tefillin. No confusion. It's a good idea. It's kosher. Meisvei. Let's go weiter. 10 minutes.
The audience should be aware that there's many tools in the market put a plastic layer on top of the tour and they paint the black on top of the plastic.
You're talking about my film right now? Look at this plastic. Look
Well, it depends which Ritzuas you've got.
at this. I don't know what this is. I need new Ritzuas.
Chaim says that.
Don't get these Ritzuas, they shed for 2 years.
Okay, Chaim says that if you turn on the machine when you start, it's fine.
You remember that?
Still today, the cheap Ritzuas in the market,
Yeah. Okay, be careful when you buy Ritzuas. Buy the good ones. What are they called? Sonnenfeld is a really good company. Buy the best ones. Zekeli Maber, you get your money back if you do the mitzvah.
Is that if there's a small scratch or the paint comes off, it's not blind or possible. As opposed to the bottom, there's a little bit of paint that comes off. It's not.
People are right. People are sitting.
Painting their bathroom. They don't realize they should be painting their.
Those people are painting the bathroom have other issues. Zog the Gemara. Meisvei tefillin ein koishen oisan. Seriously, you ever see these guys that pull out their paint before Shema, after Shema? It's like that's from OCD. Meisvei tefillin ein koishen oisan el b'minon. You cannot. In order to do ritzuas have to be from the same min as the animal. The kitzur comes from leather of whatever animal, a kosher animal, and not plastic, and not wool. Ben yerukois, that's okay. Ben yerukois, it could be green. Ben shchoros, ben lebanos. So right now we have the bomb question. It says yerukois. You could be green. Why? You just told me Allah Moshe Messina has to be black. It could also be white. You should not make your ritzus out of red because people think that you had a wound and the blood from the wound, or somebody will think, in those days they went with tefillin all day, they'll think that you were with your wife, nida. So bekitzer, don't make them red. There's a student of Rabbi Akiva that wore the ritzus that were made out of wool, blue wool. Rabbi Akiva didn't make a macha. Obviously, if Rabbi Akiva didn't say anything, then blue wool is kosher. Says the Gemara, he had 24,000 Talmidim. You think he noticed every single pair of tefillin that every Talmid wore? And if he actually saw him, he would have stopped him. Says the Gemara, okay, that's okay with Rabbi Akiva, he had 24,000 Talmidim. What about Maisa Behukin is Benoisha Rabbi Eliezer Ben Hukin is Shoyikosh Tefillah B'Lashon Shel Agmon V'Loyim Davar. Efshoi said Tzadik Rav Benoy V'Lemicha. Is it possible that Rabbi Eliezer Ben Hukin didn't say anything to his own son? Obviously he saw him. So he also didn't notice his son. Back to the question. It says you could wear ritzuis made out of green and white. The inside part of the tefillin, the one that goes against your body, could be white, and that's what people do today. They wear white ones. But the outside facing people has to be black. Halacha l'Moshe Messinai.
But it said it's green. The color get green or it becomes green?
Either or. It could be. You could color it green. You could color it green.
What's the advantage of having black both sides?
Right, this, the next
So it flips over. Yeah. Says the Gemara, Ime b'fnim, my gnai v'davar acher. If it's the inside, so nobody sees the red anyway. So why are you so careful about that? Zim in the mishapchen. Sometimes inadvertently it flips over, and you'll have a bezayin then. But other colors, you're not going to have a bezayin from. Tana, tefillin merubois halacha l'Moshe Messinai. This part of the tefillin, this part, the top part, the width and the length have to be perfectly square. This part, the height, does not. I've actually seen tefillin. I think my father's tefillin are a little bit higher to fit those. He has very small ones. He has basically this size because he wears them all day. So in order to fit in his parashiyos, they're a little taller. I think la'alacha, it's better that they should be square. And there's a few other things that are better to be than my father's tefillin, such as two boys width, and this is not two boys. Tosis points out yesterday's daf that two boys is not puzzle, but it's better to be. But people that need them and they wear them all day, and the other ones are too heavy, so they're soymach on that. However, the fact that it has to be square is not a psachumra, it's halacha l'Moshe Messinai. This is how Moshe Rabbeinu said we have to do it, and that's it. Omer Apapa.
Not only the bias on top of the bottom.
Oh, we're getting there right now. Omer Apapa b'tifron. So Rav Papa comes and says b'tifron where you sew it. Now, if you notice, where do you sew? Obviously, we have to sew this part closed, there's a groove over here, and they put the gidon in and they sew it. Says Rav Papa, this part that you put it in needs to be square. Does anybody see a square? It's basically square if you take off the ma'abarta. So he says this is halacha mishum Sinai. This part all the way around needs to be
It's
square.
actual stitching.
Yeah.
Stitching.
No. Who tells you that?
It's rectangular.
V'tifra means stitch.
But it's rectangular.
That's not the pashut pshat over here. Does that what the tell me that's what the article says? I don't believe it. Read it. What does the article say?
I just know the halacha.
Oh, you tell me another halacha. Okay, fine. I'm saying in Rav Papa. What does he say? What does the article say here? What is the article in Hebrew?
Rashi says it.
Rashi says it. It's be rough.
You need to ask what Rashi says.
No. Rashi is saying that when you tie your tefillin, make sure not to pull too tight. You're going to bend the box and make it not square. That's what he's saying. Rashi's talking about the box.
He talks about the ratio of the diagonal to the square.
B'tfirasa nishmaris ribuon shalim shechut atfir yoysu midai. Don't pull too much. Shlei kavtzu v'yikatze rochboi.
Yeah.
You're going to mess up the size of the tefillin, Rashi
It
says.
doesn't mention the box.
He's talking about Pythagoras,
It only mentions the tefillah.
The tefirah messes up the box.
He's talking about
Yes.
Pythagoras.
Are we saying that the base of the box?
He's saying the diagonal of the if you just
Now,
diagonally.
So that's the next thing.
Hold on, Maisa. Tefillah.
Yeah.
Mess up.
Right. They talk about it. And if you look at this tefillin, it does. Look at this. This is what they used to use. This is what they used to use in the time of the
It's
Gemara.
also soft like that.
This is what they used, not really, but this is what they used to use in the time of the Gemara. It's very flexible. They actually talk about this. I'm not making this up. Ubalach soinon. And you need to do, I can't trust you anymore. I need another 10-minute guy. I need Reb Naftali, you're from now on, you look like a guy that'll be honest with me. A real 10-minute. Ubalach soinon, it needs to be perfectly diagonal. In other words, there's the famous Gemara in Sukkah. Here I made a diagram just in case Zaylan wants to see, because there's no diagram. If you have something that's 10 by 10, the Gemara in Sukkah says that every square, if the sides are 90-degree angled, then the diagonal is 1 2/5, which is 1.4. So in this case, 10 by 10, the diagonal has to be exactly 14. If it's not 14, then you don't have a perfect square. I build in Chicago, so we use a different system. If you want to make any room or this is some advice for the oil, if somebody wants to build a building or a deck or a sukkah, and you want it to be perfectly on right angles, it's called the 3-4-5 system. It's very, very easy. You make one line that's 3 feet long by 4 feet long, and then the angle from here to here is going to be exactly 5 feet. If you're off by an inch, you readjust until you're exactly 5 feet, then you have these two are going to be exactly square, and you could take a line from here and follow this line 1,000 feet, and it'll be perfectly square with this line. That's how I would make my tefillin today. I'll do 3, 4, 5. It's the easiest way. I'll go in the time of the Gemara. By the way, the real number, and Taisus points it out in Sukkah, the real number is 1.414, but if you want to get, Taisus says, loy dog, you don't have to get, in other words, it doesn't have to be perfectly square mathematically. The Gemara gave out an easy number for people to remember, 1 2/5. But mathematically, it's a little bit more than 1 2/5. Fine. Levi Sayele. To Rav Papa, this is a raya, not like you guys. Chabal, I didn't remember. What's the raya now?
Eli, the second is that both the angles are the same.
Yeah.
That's how you get to the square from both sides.
Yeah, okay, but fine. What does the Gemara bring right now? To you guys that you have to do tfiras miruba? No. The Gemara says ha'isa tfilosei agula. What we're talking about, the bottom that has to be square, not the tfira. And okay, fine, and as long as you're saying and, you said in Rashi it's not mentioned. The Gemara is going to bring it right now. You can't have round tefillin that the bottom has to be square. Ha'isa tfilosei agula. You make a round cylinder tefillin. That would be different, and in white. Imam has come to shul with interesting tefillin. Sakana, it could go into your head, Rashi says, because if you bang into a doorpost, it'll knock it into you have a soft spot on your head, it'll go in and kill the person. Or I saw another Rishon says that when you do Tachnun, you might push your tefillin into your hand and it'll kill you. Kill yourself during Tachnun. The Rabbeinu Gershom, I think, says that. What? Yeah. Oh, I thought about that. Very good. When I did think about it. When you hang your mezuzah, according to Taisi, hang your mezuzah from the wall, from the doorpost, which is sakana. There's a double sakana. You'll hit the doorpost. The mezuzah will kill you through your tefillin. That's a nice way to die. You're not yotza. It says that the bottom of the tefillin have to be square. I'm noticing now that I bet you on the side they talk about it, but Rav Papa is the one that said his thing. He's asking a kasha on himself. That's why people say in the first thing that Rav Papa was really Rava. Akaponim, he says, no, it's not a raya from here. Making a tefillin in this shape is not a problem. The problem is making it like a walnut, like a ball, where it's pointy at the end. That could go into a person's head. But if it's flat, it's round, it's not going to go into anybody's head. Omer Avuna tefillin calls man shipnei tavlu kayemis ksheros. Check this out. These pair of tefillin happen to be possible because if you look closely, there's a hole in this compartment. The Gemara says, as long as this is no holes, then it's kosher, even if I have a hole inside over here. That's not a problem. Between the two. Says the Gemara, wait a minute, there's a few shittas here. If I have two holes on two different compartments, it's kosher, shalish, psulois. So he's basically b'mechulig on Ravuna, and he says that inside is possible if I have three. If there's a full compartment between the two holes, there's a hole over here, a hole on one, on the inside of one, and the inside of three, and the compartment number two is whole, then it's not a problem. There's two pshatim here, but let's go weiter because we only have 15 minutes. If it's a brand new pair of tefillin, like this, and it develops a hole, what does that show me? That shows me that you're dealing with inferior leather. Get rid of it. It's older pair of tefillin, so it's bound to happen. You're bound to have holes. It doesn't ruin the tefillin. You didn't use inferior quality, so just because it has a hole or two, it's not a problem. What does it mean old and new? If you pull it like this, you try to separate it and it goes back to its former shape. Atikoso. That shows that it's old. Vidach chatzoso. If it doesn't go back, then it's new. Another way of doing it, vinami kol heiche dechim mitlebei b'masna. If you pull the ritzua, asya basrei chatzoso, and if it goes, it doesn't break. Yeah. So if somebody wants to do a test on his tefillin to see if it's new, just pull it. If your tefillin snap in half, you should know that it was old. Shkoyach. Now what do I do with it? I throw it in the garbage. Yeah, exactly. Break your pitim, you should know it's a chazanish. Okay. Basically, it could be the Gemara saying, if it's that old, that you already see that, don't start out with it, it's going to break, like this tefillin right over here. If you pull, you know it's going to snap, that's old stuff. And it's almost the reverse of what we said before, because before we said that old comes back, it's strong enough to come back, and now it's saying that old will just snap. Okay. Abaye Rav Yosef Kamid Rav Yosef, we gotta go. Abaye Rav Yosef Kamid Rav Yosef, Ifsik le Ritzua the tefillin. His Ritzua, we're talking about tefillin shorosh now, right? According to Rashi, we're talking about tefillin shorosh. His Ritzua snapped right over here, let's say. Okay? Or right over here, a little bit over here. Omalei ma'u l'mikterei. Could I tie it together? Omalei ukshar tom. Again, ksiv. Shedehei kshir tam. Just like we said, uksaf tom, over here, ukshar tom. You take the word ukshar tom, you split it in two. Kesher tam. It should be a whole kesher, two pshatim and Rashi. Either the knot needs to be one knot, a nice knot, or the ritzua needs to be beautiful. And you can't have knots, a tied thing. Imagine somebody ties it like this. It might be disgusting, right? A guy walks around like this. It's not the seder.
Who said it's Shlomosh?
This is what they're talking about. I think Tosfos, I think, points it out.
No, the next
Shkoyach. Yeah?
Why is it not?
No, I'm pretty sure this is Tefillin Shorosh. Look into it, let me know. Look in the Rabbi said, look in your art scrolls. Are we talking about Tefillin Shorosh here or Tefillin Shel Yad? You have a Mesifta.
It just says Ritzuas, that's all.
So you mean to be talking about the Ritzuah Shel Yad at what point?
Doesn't make a difference. The next sugya is talking about the wet point.
Okay.
You can't tie it around in the middle.
It's both. The first one is both.
The first one is both. Avi says the first one is both. Thank you. We're talking about both. Either. Okay. Now, question: could I sew it on the inside like this, and then when I flip it over, I don't really notice that there's a tefira that it was sewed? Omar puk chazima modovar. Go out and see. Do people actually ever went to shul and see somebody tie it? Says Rashi, it's kosher. Rabbeinu Tam is in a thing against his grandfather. He's already in a mode of machlokes. He says this also. No, puk chazi is the opposite. Yeah, go outside. You'll see people in shul. They sew it all the time. So Mela, it's kosher. Omer Papa, what? I thought it just means like, is it normal? Like, you figure it out yourself. What are you asking me? Yeah, in our generation, nobody does it. In 2,000 years ago, 1,500 years ago, in the time of the Tanoi, maybe they did it.
Well,
Why did they ask about Kates and Sidron? Why did they ask Chazik by Kates and Sidron?
I brought that up.
So why did they ask?
They did. They looked at it. There was tefillin like this, tefillin like this. They found both. If you have left over from the Ritzuas, basically up to here, right after the Kesher, it's kosher. We're going to see what the shear is.
Does that mean
Vilav Milsi, hold on. We got to go because we're mamish late. Vilav Milsi, Mid'amri b'nei Reb Chia, Gardumi Tcheles, V'Gardumi Eizov Ksherim. If you have cut tzitzis all the way to your tzitzis are cut over here, then it says that it is kosher. And if you have Gardumi Eizov, the eziv that you spray a tmei mace with, if they're chopped off to the end, kosher. So how come it's not mentioned? If this is kosher, they should say the third thing. And the gardumei tefillin, the ritzuas is also kosher. Right? It's not kosher. Says the Gemara, no. Hasamhu de tashmishi mitzvah ninu, avalacha tashmishi kedusha ninu. What's going on here? There's a difference, a huge difference between tzitzis and tefillin. Tefillin has, this is called kodesh, this is kedusha saguf, so to speak. These are the tashmishe of the kedusha. If you switch out your ritzuas, what do you do with them? Geniza. You have to put them in geniza. You have to bury them. Tzitzis, there's no kedusha, inherent kedusha in my beged. My beged is not kodesh. I go into the bathroom with it. When my tzitzis rips, I throw it in the garbage. Or I put it in a plastic bag and throw it in the garbage because inyan. But you could technically throw it out. So it's tashmishe mitzvah versus tashmishe kedusha. What? Ritzus tashmishe kedusha. Yeah, you do. You have to be goiners. I'm pretty sure you have to be goiners. I'm telling you. I saw Gniza. I used to work in Gniza. V'klal this lay shiura. So no. It's a yeah. The Gemara says tashmish kedusha. What is the shear? V'kam shirai omer romi bar chomar shlogish ad etzbat tzreida. Until your finger is the shear. Now, this finger has two ways to go. You could use this finger to determine the shear from here to here, or you could go like this. What does it mean? This finger? We only mentioned one. Says the Gemara, there's a machlokes. Rav Kana machvi kafuf, Rav Ashi machvi poshut. So one says it goes from the kafuf means like this, so the ritzua has to be this distance. That's how long my ritzua has to be. And the other one says this much. Rabba koterlu or poshet v'shalilu. Rabba put it on, and he put it in the back of him. He put the ritzuas in the back of him. If he went and walked into our shul, Rav Acha b'Yaakov koterlu matlaslu. Rav Acha b'Yaakov he would weave it. Mar b'rei Ravno ovid kedidon, like us. We put it in the front. Rav Yehuda Bar Rav Shmuel Bar Shelas Mishmei the Rav Kesher Shel Tefillin Halacha L'Moshe Sinai. This part of the tefillin, this knot over here that looks like a dalid, is halacha l'Moshe Sinai.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Some people have a square which is two dalids. That's why it's square. It's upside down dalid.
There's two halachas.
Okay.
The Fi Rashi, they say that the dalet is the ritzuas, make the shape of the dalet.
Where did they say that?
The dalet, the sheet of the dalet.
Let's go, 5 minutes.
The ritzuas make the dalet.
Omer of Nachman ben Oyeyem. By the way, these are the last 5 minutes. They're always the easiest. They go the fastest. When they set up Shas Vilna, they set up these lines are always the easy. Omer of Nachman ben Oyeyem lebar. What I'm shouting here is that the ritzua has to be the nice part on the outside, the black to the outside. Rav Ashi, Havi Yosef, some people say it's talking about, or another Pshan Rashi is talking about the kesher should not be inverted, flipped over like this. Shouldn't wear it like this, and the inside of the kesher showing, the nice part of the kesher. Rav Ashi, Havi Yosef, Kamidim Marzutra, Sapichale ritzua, the tefillin, either the ritzua flipped over, the kesher flipped over. Omar lei l'savale mar v'nayem lebar. Don't you hold that the black has to be on the outside? Omar lei lavadatay. You're right. I Pasha didn't realize. Says the Gemara B'ro Kolami Oretz Kishem Hashem Nikar Alecha V'Yor Memeko. The goyim will see that Hashem's name is on you and they'll fear you. So Tanya Rebbe Eliezer Gadol Omer Elu Tefillin Sheberoish. This is referring to the Yidden that wear Tefillin Sheberoish. This is a famous story. The Vilna Gaon went into a shul and he saw vandals, goyim, and they saw him and they ran out. So they said, "What's going on here? You're wearing tefillin, but we're also wearing tefillin." So he said, "Oh, my tefillin are inside my head."
Not alarosh.
Sheberoish, very good. Elu tefillin, sheberoish, very good. Not alarosh, inside the head. Vasi roisi is kapi v'ro isos achoyroi. It says Moshe Rabbeinu asked Hakadosh Baruch Hu to see it. He wanted to see Hakadosh Baruch Hu. He said, "You go, you'll see my back." Omer Rav Chana bar Bizna, Omer Rav Shimon Chasido Melamid. Sheila Hakadosh Baruch Hu leMoshe Keshel Tefillin. The Gemara in Bracha says Hakadosh Baruch Hu wears tefillin, which is, and the Gemara asks over there, and what parsha is we have Shema Yisrael Shem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. What does he have? It's a Mika Amcha Yisrael Goy Echad Bar. It's Mika. We always say Mika Amcha. That's why those are it. But Hakadosh Baruch Hu showed him. What does it mean? His Achoyer? How could you see Hakadosh Baruch Hu's back? He showed him the kesher of the tefillin. Omer Rav Yehuda kesher shel tefillin tzorch she'el malo k'dei she'u Yisrael lemalo v'lo lemato. V'tzorch she'e klapi ponim k'dei she'u Yisrael lefonim v'lo la'achar. So the halacha is, just everybody go back today and check this out. This knot, there's a bone in the back of your head, you can feel it. And then after that bone, there's like two, whatever they're called. This kesher needs to be touching that bone. Not everybody's so makban on it. Today you'll check out, you'll see you might have an issue. It's usually lower.
Before the haircut or after the haircut?
Way on top of the haircut. It's by the bone over here. Oh. You're feeling your hair, not your bone. Omer Rav Shmuel bar Beidrei Omer Rav V'amil Omer Rav Acha Riko Omer Rav Huna V'amil Omer Rav Menachos Omer Shmuel. Tefillin mei mosim mevarach alein. When they make a bracha on tefillin, Mishas and Achasan. It seems like from the Gemara, once you put them on and you wrap the ritzus around in your hand, they're done. Ini v'omer Rav Yehuda Omer Shmuel kol hamitzvos kulim mevarach aleim oiver la'asiyason. You're supposed to make the bracha. Oiver means beforehand. Let's say when we wash our hands on Tiyas Yadayim, we wash our hands, we make the bracha, then we wipe down our hands. The bracha should be before the mitzvah, but not before, so that's why we make it after we wash, not before we wash.
That's different. You can't make a bracha with it.
You're right, you put on the tefillin a little bit, but you don't tie it down, so now the bracha is before the mitzvah of the tefillin, but it's after you started already, so it's perfect. So have a great Shabbos. Shira Matzah Shabbos is 9:15 as usual until we change the clock. Upstairs. Shira's upstairs.
Next week, Wednesday, Kippur, upstairs,